Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Knuckleheads Podcast, Episode 2. Today, we'll be looking at some unpopular opinions that we found on Reddit, because Reddit is cool. So, I'm here with three of my buddies. Please say hi, Zaid Akhtar, or Akhtar, whatever. Doesn't matter, pronunciations. Who cares?
Pronounce the name properly. And hello.
Alright, he said hello. Alright, say hi, Haris Hashmi.
Hey everyone, how you guys doing?
And, Mohammed, big man Mohammed. How you doing?
Hello, boys. Hello, everyone.
Alright, cool. So now, as I told you guys before, we'll be looking at some unpopular opinions that we found online.
A story is presented by Present Shame, and it is, I'm 100% okay with homeless people using my money for booze and cigars. Story is, most people I've talked to say they avoid giving money to homeless folks because they think they will use it for beer, cigarettes, or drugs. They would rather give them food or some other tangible item to help them out. While I understand the thinking behind it, I'm also not naive enough to think that my $5 is going to magically get this person off the streets and back on their feet. These people are already down on their luck and have enough to worry about. My $5 helps get them a pack of cigars or a beer, and that's what they need to get through another day, then I'm okay with that. Hey boys, what are your opinions?
My opinions is that once you give a homeless person money, or once you give anyone anything, it's no longer yours. You've transferred ownership from one object to another. And therefore, I understand the logic. I understand what this Reddit is trying to say, and I do get it in a way. However, I would prefer if I give money to the homeless, I would prefer if they spend money on essentials like food, water, or hygiene products, because at the end of the day, it's more important than buying a bunch of booze and cigarettes. And if they spend money on booze and alcohol and and cigarettes, in my mind, they don't need the money that much. Like, if they really need the money, they would spend it on essential items. And I think, so therefore, that's my opinion. I think homeless people should use their money wisely. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to judge. It's their choice, it's their money, it's their lives. You know what I mean? It's not going to affect me. But, yeah, there we go.
Alright, as for my opinion, I would like to say that, okay, I completely disagree with this person, but let me tell you why. So I think the main issue that this person's saying is that, I gave them the money, and my $5 isn't gonna help them, be back up and ready to take on the world. And I get what they're trying to say, but usually when you give money to homeless people, you're not expecting it to like change their lives or anything. It's not like you're Mr. Beast, giving them like $10,000 or something, which could actually help someone get off their feet. Rather, when you give money or anything to a homeless person, you're doing it so that you can help them out little by little, right? It's sort of a way that they can keep their sustenance. That's like their, I guess you could say they're earning at that stage, And I feel like drugs and like cigarettes and all that stuff, they're very addictive, first of all. So they're not going to help this person get off their streets. In fact, they might even keep them on, because any money that they make, they try and get a job. They might get money from like Centerlink or something, right? But they'll end up spending that on alcohol and cigarettes and stuff like that, and they won't use it for anything that they actually need, like maybe any place to rent, or maybe food or water or essentials and stuff like that. So I don't really think that it's very appropriate for you to be fine with that. I think giving handouts of food and stuff is actually really good, because that way you know that they can't spend it to detriment their lives even further, and they're actually getting something of like proper benefit to them. Yeah, but that's my opinion. What about you, Mohammed? What about you?
I believe that giving money to people is actually, in a way, both good and bad. Like, my friend Mars here said that money can be used for doing many things, but it can also be used to like help you to improve your life in a way. So in a way, I think we should say that it really depends on the person itself. If that homeless person is wise enough to use the helps to get him or herself off the streets and somehow manage to find a sort of like a shelter to stay under or to rent a house or something, that's great, good for them. But if they don't, it's not my problem. It's not our problem, it's theirs. But yes, in a way, I believe we should help them the best of our ability. If they can't manage it, then it's not my problem, it's not your problem, it's theirs. But it is in a way kind of the expectations that we should have. Actually, not expectations that we should have, it's the expectation that the society should have. Help someone, to help them to improve their life in the best way we can. If they can't do it, it's not our fault. What do you think, Zaid?
So I, like Mars and like Muhammad, I disagree, because I'm just gonna give a short and simple answer, because that's quite short and simple. I'm giving my money, say even if I give $5, I'm giving it with the intention of helping them out, right? And drugs and alcohol and whatnot, we all know, actually harms the body, harms the human being. So if I am aware that some guy is going to spend the money trying to harm himself in a way, maybe he may not know he's harming himself, but still, he's going to spend it, then yeah, I'm not okay with it, and I completely disagree with it. But hey, it's their choice. What can I really do?
Yeah, that's a fair, valid take. I feel like
Very
everyone
solid
should,
point. Yeah.
something to
It is a
contribute
good
here,
point.
but yeah. Anyways, I'd like to read the next story, or not story, rather, opinion, So this opinion has been shared by a very, very funny username. It's called, silly chicken girl, but yeah. Let's see what this, silly opinion is. Alright, so the opinion is...
Good one.
Yeah. Cemeteries are a waste of space and everyone should be cremated or composted after death. It doesn't make sense to me why we have so many cemeteries, some of which are huge. We could be using that land for homes, businesses, agriculture, etc. Even if a person wanted to be buried, there's no need to pour cement in the ground and bury their body in a casket that won't decompose after a few years. Yeah, so that's the opinion. I'll pass the discussion on to Haris. Yeah, what do you think, Haris, about this opinion?
Thank you, Mars. Well, in my opinion, I don't think it's very environmentally friendly to suddenly stop burying bodies. And like, let's be honest, how many people die every year? Millions of people die every year. So it doesn't make sense to use all that time, energy, and resources to burn all those bodies and release all that carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which then worsens the climate crisis. In my opinion, the issue is not burying bodies. The issue is using coffins and cement. And in my personal opinion, I think that if people buried bodies with that coffins or with that cement, then it would be far better for the environment. And if you think about it, the body can decompose properly. The body can be used as nourishment and can be used for food for the ecosystem and underground. It can help the soil when the body's decomposing. So yeah, that's my opinion. Also, at the end of the day, people's religions do not allow do not allow cremation. Okay. And I think it's very morally wrong to bury, like, for example, a Muslim person. It's very wrong to cremate a Muslim person's body, full knowing that their religion requires them to be buried.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's my opinion. Take it away, Mars.
All right. So when you bury someone, right? It's not only like the cement and stuff that you use, right? If you use cement and like a wooden casket and whatnot, that's fine and all. You need to make some sort of mark so that the body can be like buried and it can be cleanly buried, because this is also a requirement for a lot of people. Now, you might be like, oh, it's just a waste of space and stuff like that, and we should use this for something productive. But at the end of the day, it's not like when you cremate someone, not everyone is really comfortable with cremating. First of all, like, even if your religion, allows it, lots of people don't want to be cremated or anything like that, right? So, you know, ultimately, I think that, burial and stuff like that is just like, it's just a thing that happens. It's just something that happens in humanity. It's not like a waste of space. It's just something that needs to be there, it's just something that's just always there and always will be there. And you always need it there, right? People need to remember their people, loved ones that have passed away. And it's important that there are also designated areas such as cemeteries where people can be buried properly. That way it actually uses space more efficiently, because if people just started burying randomly, then you would, multiple times people would bulldoze over buried bodies and stuff like that if they were just scattered around randomly. So a cemetery is actually a quite good way to actually avoid this, because it's a designated place where people go to remember their loved ones after they've passed away and their bodies have been buried there. So yeah, I completely
100%,
disagree.
yeah.
I completely disagree, but yeah. What about you, Big Man Mohammed?
I also disagree with that silly chicken girl, and I fully agree with you two, with my two favorite knuckleheads. At, it is, as a matter of fact, nature does need our bodies be buried, not because, not simply just because of the religion and stuff, or not because of the religion and stuff, but because the nature needs it. The nature needs our body to decompose, because it can use our body to sort of like improve itself, to improve the soil. And I also agree with Maz on on another aspect of it, which is that people will need to remember their loved ones. Can't just simply cremate people and just forget about them, especially the ones you love dearly. No, this chicken girl is clearly the most immoral girl I've ever seen in my life.
My God.
But yes, I agree with with Maz and Harris on this aspect. What do you think, Zaid?
I agree with all of you three completely, and I disagree with, as Muhammad said, this immoral, silly chicken girl. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, they honestly, like, to remember your family members and that. I mean, obviously, like, in Hinduism, they burn their bodies, which is fair enough, but yeah, with many religions, they have their different views, and we should respect that. And yeah, obviously, with people like the Muslims or Christians or whatnot, there should be a place designated to go remember their family members, to pray for them or whatnot. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, that's pretty good opinions all around.
Solid.
I can't say I disagree with any of you, but yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So,
All right.
you read the next one.
All right, yeah. This unpopular opinion is written by none other than the most interesting username I've ever read. Mermaid Momster. Not monster, Momster.
Like your mom,
And Mars, this wasn't you.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
And Mars, this wasn't you, was it?
No, it wasn't. Definitely. I didn't post this, bro. I'm not crazy. might have been harsh. I don't know.
Me?
Maybe
Hey,
You still have to
Harris,
blame me for everything.
maybe it was Harris, maybe it was Zayd. Clearly not
it
me
was
because
never
I
me.
don't like mom
I'm an
jokes.
Indian. I'm an. I don't like mom jokes.
All right.
Well,
Anyways,
let me read it for you
Alright,
guys.
let's get back to serious talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get back to serious stuff. Alright, I'm not telling my kids to never hit girls. Got a call from the school saying my son punched a girl in his class. I was mad and ready to ground him when he got home, and it occurred to me, wow, what a great English, that I should ask why he hit her. The principal told me that the little girl punched him, his lunch money, and continued to take his folder and smack him with it. And he got fed up and punched her in the shoulder. Now, if they knew that the little girl had done all this and was continued to do it, they should have intervened. They didn't. So my son defended himself. Got in trouble. And I told principal that it's justified. She told me that I shouldn't make it seem okay to hit little girls. I let her know that my children know that it's not okay to hit anybody. But that it's also not okay to stand there and just be hit either. It's totally okay defend yourself against anybody and everybody that is attacking you. So, what do you think, Harris?
well, I don't know. It's a bit of a. I think it's more complicated than you should fight back when it comes to a girl hitting you. Listen, at the end of the day, there's two factors I like to think about. Okay, firstly, the Redditor's right. You should teach your son not to hit anybody. So it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You should not hit anybody. And I also agree that you should be able to fight back. However, listen, okay, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this. But I believe that biological men, on average, are stronger than biological females, okay? So if a woman is hitting you, you have the right to defend yourself, but I reckon you should always use reasonable force. And to be fair, this can be applied for, this could be applied to, like, anybody. Like, for example, like, if someone's fighting you, you should never ever go out of your way to harm someone unless you should only use force to defend yourself. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think like it's good that this Redditor is like, I feel like she's a good mom. I feel like she's trying to look for the best for her son. But at the end of the day, man, like, I just think that I don't know. Well, actually, to be honest, I feel like I just waffled a bit, but I think you should use reasonable force. Again, you shouldn't, like, if a girl hits you on the arm, you shouldn't, like, go Chris Brown and knock her out and knock her teeth out. You know what I mean? Like, you should. I think everyone has a right to defend themselves. But sometimes, like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's about the threat as well.
Yeah.
And you should not. And the Reddit is 100% right. You shouldn't hit women. You shouldn't hit men. You shouldn't hit anybody. Assaulting people is wrong. Period. But that's just my 2 cents. Mars, why don't you give us your opinion?
Okay, so in terms of this opinion, I feel like I mostly agree with you. I think that, you shouldn't hit anyone. As a principal, you shouldn't really hit anyone. Like, there's no need to punch people around, right? It's not, like, useful. But, if someone is, attacking you or hitting you or whatever, right? You should evaluate the situation. Are you getting hurt by this, attacking? Like, can you escape this? Can you, move away from it? Or is it just, like, completely unavoidable, right? If it's, like, unavoidable, then sure, you can hit someone back, but, like, that's only as a measure of, like, self-defense, right? You should always, like, sort of limit yourself in the sense, like, it doesn't matter if a boy is attacking you or a girl's attacking you, like, depending on how strong the person's, like, attacking you, right? You should, use that as, like, a gauge to, measure your response, right? If the person's, like, attacking you and you don't really feel anything, it's just sort of, like, there. You just feel it touch you and whatever, right? It's not like painful or anything like that or bothersome. Like you can avoid it, right? And like that. But if it's a bit like you're in a bit of trouble, right? And you do need to defend yourself. You can hit back. Maybe you can like restrain, like grab someone's arm if they're trying to hit you or whatever. But the main aim is that you're not trying to hurt the other person. You're trying to stop them from attacking you. So that's just my take on this. But yeah, what about you, Big Man Mohammed?
Well, in a way, I agree with both of you, and I agree completely with the Reddit user that you should defend yourself against whoever and whatever. But it's not that you should try to avoid people, regardless of how strong or weak they are. However, you should give a proper response. If a little kid is going to hit you, you shouldn't, as Knucklehead Harris said, you shouldn't go full Chris Brown on him and just, excuse me, but punch the shit out of that little kid. However,
my God.
Same goes for opposite sex. You shouldn't sort of like go ahead and punch them and sort of like punch them until they're completely knocked out or even dead. However, that doesn't mean that you should just stand idly by and let them do whatever. You should defend yourself with a reasonable force, the reasonable force, and not get angry. And this is very important. Anger often plays a very troubling role in in society and often destroys your life. Let's not get distracted, but yeah, I think we should only defend ourselves using reasonable force and not get angry. That's what I think we should do.
No.
How about you, Zaid? What do you think?
I completely agree with Mohammed and Harris as well. Obviously, should not be. First of all, you should not hit anyone regardless of who you are, male or female. But yeah, I completely agree with you two. That's all I got to say. Really. How about you, Mars?
Well, I've already given my opinion on this, so I don't know.
Go ahead.
Yeah. What a numbers, bro.
Shit.
Legit forgot my entire portion, bro. Come on, man. What the heck? Alright.
Hey, I'm sorry, mate.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. Just know that I spit straight facts, so yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, he did.
Mars,
I know you're probably waffling.
I was waffling, definitely, but how about
Yeah,
you?
I was surprised Mars was the one waffling.
Yeah, man.
Harris, just read your Reddit and then we give.
All right. You know, you guys are absolutely right. Let's do this, okay? So, here we got a post by Pikachu. You know, I didn't know Pokemons were evolving to write Reddit posts, but let's continue on, anyways. Just because you have depression / anxiety / personality disorder does not mean everyone has to cater to you. I get it. You are vulnerable. If you have a mental disorder, however, that does not give you the green card to expect people to automatically be sensitive towards you or your needs. Sure, when others try to help you because they know of your disorder, they're doing this out of their own kindness, not because they owe you anything. So Mars, why don't you give us your opinion on that hot take, pal?
Well, I actually have a 50-50 on this one. There are a lot of people who like do need like special catering and whatnot to them, right? But you know, there are also like people who are like just self-diagnose themselves with like depression and stuff like that, who then are just like make it like basically 50% of their personality. Like, oh my God, I'm depressed. Oh, I have multiple personality disorders and anxieties and whatnot. And those people, like, they're people who just want to be catered to, but don't actually have like any serious like mental problem that they're actually dealing with. Sure, they might feel sad. Sure, they might feel anxious, but those are all feelings that everyone really feels. Like, it's not the same as depression or anxiety, where you constantly feel sad for no reason, or you panic over every single thing, no matter what, and you're constantly afraid. That sort of stuff isn't, what you are dealing with. Sure, you might have felt anxious before you gave a test, but that doesn't mean you have an anxiety disorder, right? You might have felt happy one time and felt, sad the other. That doesn't mean you have bipolar disorder. And those types of people who self-diagnose, they typically want to be catered to. And I wouldn't want to cater to those people, but yeah, I mean, if you know that someone has depression or anxiety or personality disorder, like, proper, right? You shouldn't, like, be mean to them. That's just being, like, an a-hole, like, am I the a-hole? Am I right? Episode 1 callback, but whatever. Yeah, but I just think that, you shouldn't, you should cater to people, like, who are actually not, like, specifically, like, bend down to their every whim, but be a bit, sensitive to what they might be, adverse to, right? But yeah, that's just my take. What about you, big man Mohammed?
Well, listen, about this story, I actually it might take I might have to tell you another story, but it's actually related to this one.
Yeah, go for it.
See, a few weeks ago, I found a friend, an old friend whom I knew from the 4th grade. And when I catched up with him and I talked to him about, the past and what he has been doing all this time, and he told me his story, and which was quite sad, that his mother had blood cancer. She died 4 years ago, which was quite sad to hear. But one thing that I realized about his story, is that how difficult life was for him. How difficult he, after all, when you lose a loved one, let alone your mother, you're going to feel awfully sad. But that doesn't. But he often insisted, and I saw it in his day-to-day behavior, that although this event had a profound impact on him, but it didn't mean that he would sort of like lose everything and has to sort of like be dedicated for it, and sort of like you have to show a special sort of like dedication and respect to them. I believe it goes back to your own sort of like personality and expectation as to how are you going to deal with this problem. There are many. Life is tough. Life can sometimes punch you harder than anything else in the world can. But you have to be tough. You have to know how to fight back. You have to know how to stand up and continue living, continue sort of like fighting, and continue in the path you're continuing. And I think and going back to the story, in a way, yes, I agree with the Reddit user. Actually, not in a way, I completely agree with the Reddit user. Depression, anxiety, and problems in your life doesn't excuse you from being sort of like part and unique in the society. It doesn't excuse you to be that person, to be that person. You're just like everyone else, and no one has to show a special dedication and special care for you just because you have a personality disorder or depression. My friend's mother died, and yet he is living his life normally, like everyone else. In fact, he's doing much better than I am doing in life. So yes, I completely I agree with the Reddit user. You shouldn't expect anyone to show a special dedication just because you have a bipolar disorder or a personality disorder, depression, or anything that regards your psychology.
Cool.
How about you, Zaid? What do you think?
I agree with you, Mohammed, and I agree with the Reddit user. You shouldn't be showing them this special care or whatnot because there are some people in this world that act depressed so they can get their attention. Like, you never know. I feel like that you should treat everyone with respect in general. You shouldn't give many people too much importance. And yeah, as you said, like your friend's mother died, he moved on with his life. Um, I'm sure a lot of us have lost family members in the past 4, 5, 6 years. I remember I lost my grandfather back in 2019, and I moved on with my life. Just hey, you guys got to live your life like how they would have wanted you to live, and obviously giving too much importance to these people, it will just get to their head, and obviously then being depressed wouldn't really mean anything. Like if you genuinely have disorder or something, then sure, I mean, yeah, you may need a bit of extra care, but giving too much importance to such people is just, I don't really see a point. I don't see the point in giving importance to a lot of people, actually. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's my opinion.
All right.
Well,
Yeah, Harsh, would you like to?
all right, can I give my opinion, please?
House, what about you? Yeah,
go
House,
ahead.
give your opinion, please.
Yeah, I'm the forgotten one here. Well, I'd first say I like to disagree with the Reddit post. I'd like to disagree with Mohammed and Zaid, and I somewhat agree with Mars. Okay, now listen. Firstly, when this Reddit guy is saying we should not cater to people who have depression, anxiety, and personality disorder, he doesn't really disclose what he means by cater. So we don't know, like we don't understand what he means to cater. Like when he says that, like, should we not be nice to people with personality disorder, or should we not go out of our way to make sure people are comfortable? And I feel like the Reddit user should have clarified more on what he meant by catering to people with mental illnesses. Now, listen, okay? No one should feel left out or be treated differently, especially for something they can't control, okay? And none of us here we never had anxiety, we never had depression, we never had personality disorder, so we cannot say what it's like to have those illnesses. We can't even relate to them. We have no idea what's going on in that person's brain, okay? So therefore, it's like, I mean, listen, he is right in a way. We don't have to cater to people, but that's like saying we don't have to be nice to people. We don't have to be cordial to people. You know what I mean? Like just catering to people with depression or anxiety and personality disorder is just, it's just a good thing you should do. You should be a good person. You know what I mean? And it shouldn't be I don't know, you shouldn't really view it as a hassle. And at the end of the day, like anxiety, depression, personality disorder, they're not little like mental illnesses, especially personality disorder. Like those are big illnesses, and people kill themselves because of these diseases. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and yes, I understand what I understand what Muhammad and Zaid meant by we all have we all go through stuff, and like everyone has their ups and downs. But at the end of the day, what's it called? Like these mental illnesses, these do not compare to like what we've been through, and we've been blessed not to have to experience these diseases. And to be honest, like it doesn't really like what's it called? It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't hurt anyone just to go out of their way to just be a little bit nicer to someone with a mental illness. Like, yeah, no one's asking you to change your whole lifestyle around because of them, but at the end of the day, a little kindness here and there is there's no harm in that. But that's just my 2 cents. So yeah.
All right. I would like to add on a bit though, because I think Harsh raised some interesting points. I think all you guys raised some interesting points, but one thing that I just want to clarify is that when someone means like cater to someone, like specifically cater to someone, like generally we should just be under the assumption that when you're talking to anyone, you're always treating them with respect, cordialness, and or being nice
Obviously.
in general,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
But like when someone's saying that, oh, we don't have to specifically cater to you, that means that we don't like go out of your way specifically. Like for example, if you and your friends wanted to go to like an amusement park or something, right? And one of your friends is like, oh, I hate amusement parks. I get so anxious when I go there, right? They're like, okay, fine, we'll go, and then you can stay behind. It's fine, all right. But then they're like, oh, but
Yeah,
I
that's
don't want to
very
miss
reasonable.
out. Oh, I don't want to miss out on what you're doing. That'll make me feel depressed or something like that, And because a lot of the times when depression, comes, you also have anxiety and stuff like that, especially regarding, a lot of social interactions that you have from day to day. So I feel like in that case, when you would be catering, you would be like, okay, let's just not go to the amusement park at all, and we'll do something with you instead. When everyone wanted to go to the amusement park, right? That would be like specific catering, right? And I get it. If you're a friend with someone, right? Then sure, you can understand it and you can be like sensible to that. But like, it's not like if your friend has this problem or whatever, you have to do it like every single time, right? Sometimes it's just like you do cater, sometimes you don't cater. It's just like you just have to be nice to people in general, right? But don't let it get in the way of your own life, right? But yeah. Well, you wanted to say something, Harsh, or?
Well, I mean, for the music part example, I don't think the person who says, "Oh, if you guys miss out, I can't go to the amusement park. I have anxiety, and if I miss out, I have depression." I don't think that that's a good example of depression. I don't think that's what depression is, if you understand me. But like, I mean, okay, listen, let's forget about the mental illness. You can argue that, okay, for example, what's it called? If you live in a country that's a Western country, is it reasonable to say, oh, the country should not have a single halal restaurant because it's a Christian country and this country should not have to cater towards the Muslim people? You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, listen, I get individually, if you don't want to cater to someone who has depression or anxiety, then that's fine. It's your choice at the end of the day. But I don't know, man. I think everyone deserves to not feel left out, and I don't think people should be treated differently because of something they can't control. That's just my opinion. But at the end of the day, I don't have an understanding what this guy means by catering. Does he mean like, oh, I should not have to cater to someone's mental illness, or does he mean as a society we should not have to cater to someone's mental illness? And I feel like he is kind of I feel like, this is my opinion, but I feel like he is kind of leaning towards the society one, because what's it called? He said in his own post, if people help you, it's not because of their own it's because of their own kindness. They're not doing it because they owe you anything. And I guess that's fair, but I don't know. Again, he doesn't define cater. Like, who's cater to who?
Listen,
That's my 2 cents, though.
In a way, I have to also clarify some things as well. Say that it is not our social responsibility. That doesn't mean you have to be a flat out like mean to people. You shouldn't go ahead and insult people on day-to-day basis. That doesn't excuse you from being impolite. After all, we are living in society. Even though we are living in 2 or 3 different countries, but that doesn't. But in every society, being polite and showing respect to people is the key to be part of that society. So no, that doesn't mean have to be mean. It's just that you shouldn't show a special dedication. And Harris, the example you've given is arguably, let me just say it flat. Let me just say it outright. It's the worst possible example you could give.
Oh my god.
Wait, what example are you talking about?
The one about
The one
that
the
you
Muslim,
said-
Muslim countries. The thing is,
Yeah,
alright,
exactly.
when-
That's
when-
it.
It's not. I would disagree. It's not a bad example because I don't
It's the
understand what he means by catering. Does it mean society shouldn't cater, or should he not
Means-
cater to people with mental illnesses? Because in
Let me-
my analogy was, if he means society, then does society have to cater to someone's religious needs or someone's health needs? You know what I mean?
I'm trying to explain it here, because you see, individual relationship is very different from a national relationship. We should actually dedicate an entire podcast on the difference between the individual relations and the relations between the countries. We should do that.
yeah.
But that's not what we're talking about here.
Let
We're
us
talking
know in the
about
comments if you want to see
education.
that. By the way, let us know in the
Oh,
comments.
yeah, exactly.
Nobody's gonna
You
comment,
let us
bro.
know.
Bro, no, can't be like that.
Oh, Harris, what is? Come on.
You gotta give the illusion that people will comment, that people will actually comment. Right?
Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Let's be honest here, man. Let's
Alright.
be honest.
Let's forget about that, right? We're just starting off, right? Maybe we might get like some free car scam comment or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah, well.
Mohammed, continue with what you were saying.
But on individual level, when catering and sort of like caring and showing respect is different from the fact that you should sort of like show a special dedication to someone. That doesn't mean, for example, if someone has depression, my friend who has to deal with that huge blow, that doesn't excuse him and excuse me sort of like showing a special dedication to him. He is living in a society that people are showing respect to him, and that's good enough. Shouldn't show a special dedication to that person just because
Mohammed,
that
so-
person is going through something tough. Should, because we are all going through sort of like our own problems. Each of us are dealing with our own problems in our own unique way. Maybe my problem isn't as big and as impacting that his problem is. That doesn't excuse him from sort of like from receiving an equal treatment in the society. So, although
Mohammed, I think your argument here is that people with mental illnesses, people with depression or anxiety or personality disorder should not be treated better than people who don't have it, and should have the same, like, what's the word I'm looking for here? I guess consequences as someone who doesn't have a mental illness. And that's a reasonable
consequences
state.
is actually.
But at the end of the day,
a
Mohammed-
harsh word for this statement. I mean, it's sort of like it's a very harsh thing to say. I mean,
Are you
equal
Sorry, go on.
treatment is more of a right word, because not many people are unique, but nothing unique in terms of their problem and personality, but their problems, like what am I looking for here? Damn it.
Mohammed, I would have to disagree with you. I mean, firstly, I think you're confusing I don't think when a person's saying people should not have to cater to mental illnesses, with people with mental illnesses and depression and anxiety, I don't think it's talking about people should not have to, like, people with mental illnesses should not be treated better and should be held to the same expectations as someone who has a good mental health, okay? And listen, whether you agree with that or not, that's up to you. That's your opinion. But I think when you mean catering, he's not talking about holding people accountable, okay? And he's not talking about people should, like, be treated better because you have a mental illness or you have mental health issues. Okay, I don't think that's what he means by the word cater. Okay, I think what he means cater is he's talking about being treated different but not better. So for example, just I don't know, like taking more time to help someone out with mental illnesses than and then spending less time to help someone out who has what's it called, who doesn't have a mental illness. And at the same, and to be honest, that's very reasonable because the person with a mental illness has an obstacle that the other person, the normal person, doesn't. Do you get what I'm saying?
If that's what the user is saying, then sure, I can
I don't think I don't
agree
I
with
think I
it.
think I think I feel like you what's it called? I feel like
Treating
you
it
mixed up like
differently is
yeah. I
is
think you and I
not
have different definitions of the word cater, bro. And again, I don't think none of us understand what depression is, bro. Like depression isn't just like an obstacle, bro. Depression can fuck up your life. It's a mental illness at the end of the day. It's not like depression is not a feeling. You don't just feel depressed. Like you suffer from depression. And at the end of the day, it does have real world consequences. People kill themselves because of depression. And you can say like, oh, that's dumb. People shouldn't kill themselves from depression. But at the end of the day, the data doesn't lie. When people have depression, they are more likely to kill themselves. And it's not just depression, personality disorder and anxiety. These are real diseases, bro. They're not just like a feeling. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I agree. I think the general tenet here is just don't be an a-hole, you know? And if someone is demanding some sort of special treatment,
Don't
you
be
just
ableist. Yeah, that's 100% right.
I said a-hole, not ableist, but I guess
Ah,
ableist would also fit. Don't be an a-hole to anyone really. And if someone's like actually demanding some sort of special treatment, I think you should look at it like a case by case basis. You know, like
exactly,
if
100% right. Listen,
if it hinders you,
sorry,
then
I
like
apologize for interrupting.
if you have to constantly like hinder yourself, then like it might not be like something like that. But just be nice to people. I think that's just like a lot of the times the people who are depressed or have anxiety disorder won't really demand that much out of you except a bit more sympathy or something. But yeah,
Exactly.
I think we
Just
should
take the time to understand.
yeah.
Take the time to understand.
I think we
And
should
let's be honest, I feel like our generation has normalized depression. I feel like a lot of people are saying I'm depressed, and they're using depression and anxiety like key like buzz terms. You know what I mean? We don't understand. I feel like not.
yeah.
I shouldn't just I feel like it's not just our generation, but just people in general need to understand what depression is, what anxiety is. It's not just people just throw it around. People throw around the word like it's nothing. Like, oh, if you're feeling sad, you have depression. Like, you know what I mean? Depression is way more than just sadness.
Yeah, that's what that's what I was saying, right? Like a lot of people self-diagnose and stuff, and those people are usually looking for attention and stuff like that. So
Exactly.
you should always look
Listen,
at it as
That's
case
exactly
by
what I
case.
said as well.
Yeah,
Exactly what I said as well. Yeah, a lot of people are using depression as if it's nothing. Like they're just using the word, trying to gain sympathy from it. So you really don't know. You just actually like really don't. Obviously, you shouldn't be, as Mars said, a hole to anyone. But
yeah.
yeah,
I think we
there are
should
some
leave it at
people who
that.
just use it.
Like we have some differences.
listen.
But yeah, we'll let the comments decide.
I'm just gonna end off my
Yeah,
I'm just gonna end off my statement with this, okay? However hard you find it to cater to someone with a mental illness, just know the person with the mental illness is struggling 100 times more than you are catering to them. That's all I'm gonna say.
okay, that's fair, that's valid. But yeah, I think we'll end it off here though, right?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's a good place to end it on. Good discussion.
Uh,
Or perhaps in a week or so, if you guys like it so much.
yeah, please do.
Boys, let's be honest, okay? We're not talking to an audience. We're pretty much talking to ourselves. But if you are the lucky person who managed to find our video thanks to the YouTube algorithm, just know that we appreciate your support. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Let us know. Let us know where we could do better. You know what I mean? We appreciate constructive criticism because we're new here. We're starting out. And subscribe if you would like. You know, it's free. It doesn't hurt anyone. But yeah, take it away, Miles.
Yeah. Anyways, that'll be it for us today. Yeah. All right. Bye. See you next time.
Alright, see you guys later.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.